At Jolyn, we're with you at every milestone, making it easier for you to shine. So you can saddle up each morning for more than a paycheck. Have the support to expand your horizon, the space to grow your family, and your brightest dreams never have to fade. At Jolyn, we help you shine. That's brighter banking. Jolyn Federal Credit Union.
Welcome to the Greater Conversations podcast. I'm Deetra Miller, the Director of Member Relations and Engagement at Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. We'll use this platform to showcase our local businesses, our community, and their stories. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I am super excited to have two people here with an organization that you may have heard of that has been in Winston-Salem for 40 years. I have with us today Stephanie Beeman. She is the marketing manager of Ronald McDonald House Charities Piedmont Triad. And we also have Jolyn Roberts, who is the Chief Hospitality Services Officer for Ronald McDonald House Charities Piedmont Triad. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, Deetra.
Absolutely. It is my pleasure. You know, I think everybody's probably heard of Ronald McDonald, and maybe they've even heard of Ronald McDonald House Charities, but maybe they're not familiar with everything that you're doing in Winston-Salem. So I cannot wait to dive into it. And sitting to my left today, I have Ethany Good. She is our Director of Marketing and Communications at Greater Winston-Salem, Inc., the National Chamber of the Year. And woo-hoo! Fun fact that, I'll let Ethany share later. I won't spill the beans on that one, but let's just dig into it. So Stephanie, again, thank you for being here today. When I reached out, I really just didn't know a lot about the charity. So share with everyone listening that was like me, what does Ronald
McDonald House Charities Piedmont Triad? I got you, girl.
It's a mouthful. Yeah.
Yes. What do you do?
All right. Well, you're exactly right. I mean, we have been in a staple on Hawthorne Road in Winston-Salem for 40 years now, since 1984. But there are people that drive by every day and they wave at Ronald and they don't really know what's happening inside the building and they aren't aware of what we do. So this is a great opportunity for us to introduce ourselves to the community. But the core of it is Ronald McDonald House provides a home away from home for families who have children that are receiving medical treatment, sometimes with serious illness, sometimes premature births, just for whatever reason that they might be receiving treatment in one of the area hospitals. And so anyone who lives outside of Forsyth County and has and qualifies to stay can stay at Ronald McDonald House while their child is receiving treatment for a suggested donation of $10 or for no charge at all if that's what's needed. That is the very basic level of what we do. We provide at least one hot meal every day in the form of dinner that's provided by volunteers most of the time, as well as just kind of emotional care, somebody to talk to, camaraderie within the house between the different folks that are staying there. So that was the original plan back in 1984. And over the 40 years, it's grown to a lot more. And Jolyn is going to be telling you a lot more about that too. But we've expanded that hospitality over the years from a 10-bedroom house up to now a 36-bedroom house. So we are serving, we are now able to welcome all the families that need us. We haven't had to have a waiting list since the last expansion, which is really important. And then beyond that, we're expanding the hospitality out beyond the house, out into the community. So there are families who are maybe Forsyth County or Winston-Salem residents. They might not have a reason to be staying in the house, but their children are receiving care in local pediatric clinics, and other areas. And so we're reaching out to them with our hospitality cart program. And we also have family rooms within the hospital for folks that even stepping, down the street to Ronald McDonald House feels like a long way to go and want to be close to their children so they can get services in our family rooms too.
That's amazing. And I want you to go back and talk a little bit about the carts. Yes. What are these carts?
I'm going to toss that to Jolyn and let her, because that is her baby. I'm going to let her tell you about that.
That's my baby over there. The hospitality card. So the hospitality cards is our way of meeting families where they're at. So in the family room, which Anthony used to be one of our family room volunteers over at Brenner. And so our family rooms, we always expect parents to get that respite, to be able to get outside the child's room. And so the hospitality card, it actually meets those parents where they're at. So do you remember candy stripers, like back in the day, how they used to carry the card with them? So that's what the hospitality card is, essentially. So one of our hospitality services coordinators, she refers to it as liquid sunshine. So on that card, we have hot McDonald's coffee, we have snacks, some drinks, toiletries, we have kids coloring books, adult coloring books, some toys that are on there. And so a lot of times parents just do not want to leave their child's bedside. And so this is the perfect way of, if they have been up all night, doctors and nurses coming in all night, they don't want to go down to Starbucks to get a cup of coffee, we come to them with that. And so that's the hospitality card. So it's our extension of our family room program, which is a place of respite that's in three of our hospitals. We have one at Brenner Family. I'm so sorry. We have one at Brenner Children's Hospital.
Atrium Children's Hospital, Brenner Children's, Atrium Levine. It's
right.
It's a long name.
It's a really long name. Novant Health and Cone Health. We have family rooms in those hospitals. And so they serve as a place of respite. So a hospitality room that has coffee in there. We have quick meals like Hot Pockets, Uncrustables, chicken biscuits, sausage biscuits, and even just like a nice place to go that doesn't look like a hospital room. So it's decorated really well. We have some really great designers that have redesigned the room to make it a place that is truly respite, where they don't have to hear, just machines going off, or where they don't have to worry about. And someone else in this room has also tried the hospitality card as well, too.
Really?
I did push one around one day. Yeah.
You did.
He did. And what did you think, Tim?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was, I went in expecting it to be sad, and it was anything but. I mean, sure, they're there for a sad reason, but they were just like, oh, can I have this, and can I have that? And I'm like, absolutely. Take 3.
Right.
We're giving this stuff away.
Right.
Because we want you happy.
That's beautiful.
And I think so much research has shown that if parents are well taken care of, then they show up so much better for their child, as well as, when it's time to interact with the nurses and the doctors, that they show up so much better when they have taken care of themselves in that regard. So, Tim talked about, being able to see parents and they need something. So I've done the card twice this week. And so we came across a lot of parents that have been transported to the hospital, so they didn't have anything. So on that card, we have toiletries like deodorant, toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, and those are just things that we take for granted. When we travel, we already prepare those things, but if your child has to be in a medical emergency, we're just not that prepared for that. And so that's another great thing about that hospitality card. Wow. And so those are the hospitality cards that are in that are actually in the medical facilities, meaning in the hospitals. So we also have them outside in the community as a way to do some outreach. So we have one at Downtown Health Plaza. We have one at Novant Watown Pediatrics, one at Thomasville Medical Center. We have one at Cone Health at their Tim and Carolyn Rice Center as well. And we also have one at Thomasville Medical Center also.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's our way of reaching, the greater community. And then it's a way to just kind of let parents know, if you ever have to be in the hospital, check out the family room, or you'll be seeing a hospitality cart coming around to your floor as well also.
That is beautiful. I absolutely love that. And Anthony, I would love for you to share with everyone listening what your experience was like volunteering there.
Come on up to the microphone.
Absolutely, yes. It was a great experience. You know, the family room is just that. It's a place for them to step, you know, only a few steps away sometimes from their child's room, but to enter a very calming and different environment that doesn't feel like the hospital. And a lot of the guests in the family room, their first stop is that pot of McDonald's coffee. But they are really able to feel like they're in a residential kitchen area, a residential living area. There's some places for them to have a nice meal that they can, again, as Jolyn mentioned, the snacks and food are available for them. They can cook it themselves and just feel like they have a little bit of a break and then can continue to care for their child.
I love that. I'm curious to know what drew you to volunteer there?
Yeah, that's a great question. My mom was a nurse her entire career and worked at Baptist Hospital. And so I was always just aware that there was this service in the community. And I was there for a few years and would go in there, make it really easy to set up a schedule of volunteers to be in that room to cater to the families. And it's short shifts. I think 3 hours.
3 hours. Yeah.
So if you have 3 hours a week, if you have 3 hours a day, you know, you can take as many shifts as you want to.
We would love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anthony, for that. Yeah. And I think so many people, did you find that it was a rewarding experience for you? I know a lot of times when we talk to volunteers and ask that question, what made you come to the Ronald McDonald House? A lot of times it could be, I had a child that experienced something or a family member that experienced, a tragedy or some type of illness. And so we always ask them, what's the rewarding thing about it? And everyone has always said, I get so much more from it than I could have ever imagined.
Wow.
Ever imagined. And again, it shifts your perspective. I know for me doing the cart 2 times this week, it just extended my gratitude of, so often we can come and our problems are big to us. But in the grand scheme of things, when you look at parents that, they've gotten a bad diagnosis about their child and they're still able to show up with a smile when they come into that family room and just be nice to people, just be able to show up in the world. So it's a very rewarding experience. I know I get very filled every time that I run the cart or I cover shift in the family room like that.
Wow. And I think related to what Tim was saying about his experience with both the carts and volunteers that we have come into the house as well, I think there is that conception when people think about volunteering for anything that involves illness or, medical care, something like that it is going to be, sad or that it's going to be something that kind of brings them down. And I think that's probably the farthest from it. For one thing, as Jolyn mentioned, you have folks that are going through so much and they're walking around with, they're bringing a smile into the room. They want those little bits of normalcy. They want to sit with a cup of coffee. They want to play a game or read a book to their child or talk about how their favorite football team's doing. And they want that break from the world to sit and feel normal and talk to a volunteer. So you're not going to spend your whole time, talking about sadness and illness. And we also have within the house and family rooms too, we have a certain element of joy. About 50% of the families that we're serving, at least in the house, have babies in the NICU.
Wow.
So they have, babies that they anticipate having a wonderful, healthy life, but they just came a little bit too early. And so there's a lot of kind of joy and celebration about as they're hitting those milestones and growing and, getting to hit the milestones of coming off oxygen and all the different things that they do. And we celebrate that with them.
Wow.
So there's a lot of like happy moments and joy as long as, as well as being there for folks when they're in a difficult place as well.
I love that. You mentioned that the house has 36 bedrooms. Talk a little bit about the house and how families get connected.
Awesome. Yes. So I will go all the way back to before the house was built and say it really came out of a need of the fact that so many families obviously don't want to leave their children when they're very ill. And Jolyn mentioned the research showing that, having this place for them helps to keep them closer to their children. I even myself just more recently learned, I just came back from our international conference, all the hundreds of Ronald McDonald's programs all over. And one of the things we were talking about there was that there's a second part to that research. So not only does keeping families close, is that good for the parents and good for the families, but there's proven research that actually improves the speed of healing for the patient and that access to their family. So early on, our founding families were looking when they had children receiving care and seeing that there were parents sleeping in hospital rooms, sleeping on floors, sleeping in waiting rooms. And so they, it took several years, but came together to try to build a place where they could be very close to the hospital, but have, a comfortable place to sleep and be able to get together with each other and support each other and, have a hot meal and, get some respite. So the original house had 10 bedrooms. And during that period of time, it was primarily a lot of cancer and leukemia situations, and there was a pretty heavy waiting list. So even from the very beginning, they were full all the time, and there was generally a waiting list and a limit on how long families could stay. And so it has always been the goal over these years to expand to the point where we didn't have to have that waiting list anymore. So there was an expansion, I believe about midway through, about 20 years ago, to expand it to about 17 rooms. And then the most recent expansion expanded it to 36. Wow. And so that enables longer term stays. We have families who have children in the NICU that were born at 23, 24 weeks. They may stay with us for 5 or 6 months.
Wow.
We have, children that have a long recovery from a serious injury or a burn or something like that, that they're in the hospital for, multiple months. And one of the things a lot of people don't know is, aside from those long stays, once a family is connected, they may come back, they may have a child who has gone through cancer treatments and needs to come back 2 or 3 times a year for appointments or checkups. And so they can always come back and check in and stay overnight, when they're coming from far away, so that, they have kind of a place to come back to either the evening after the appointment or, the night before and be kind of at their best and rested for that. So to answer your question, the way that they do get connected is that they do need to be referred by somebody on the medical team. So when a family is in the hospital, maybe a doctor or a nurse or a social worker or anybody on that team that, picks up on the fact that they live a distance away and that it's going to be a bit of a stay. And so they can put in a referral and send that referral to the house. And then once that's sent over, it is important that the family does pass a background check. Because it is communal living. So we do a background check on that. But once they qualify for that and their residence, their distance from Winston-Salem qualifies, then we generally have the space for them and they're welcome to come stay. And again, like I said, we suggest a $10 donation if the family is able to do that. But a great number of families are not. Medical expenses are extremely high and usually unexpected. Yeah. So they do not need to pay to be able to stay. And a lot of families pay that forward in the future, or their friends and loved ones do. So we don't feel the loss of them not being able to pay that $10. We make that up with the support of the community and folks paying it forward.
I love that. Talk a little bit about the support of the community. What type of programs do you have? Not only volunteering, but what else do you do to get the community involved?
So armies of volunteers, as you just mentioned. I mean, it takes to keep all of those carts going and the family rooms and dinner on the table every night. So lots of volunteers. And like I said, the support of the community makes a huge difference. It does not cost us $10 to house someone for a night. It costs upwards of $80, I believe, per room per night. So the donations that the community provides help us to cover that cost and us be able to not charge families. So we have fundraisers throughout the year, and a lot of them are focused on that room cost and how you can provide that night for someone. So in the springtime, we have Sport a Shirt Share a Night, where folks can buy a T-shirt, which I'm wearing one. We don't have the podcast visual today, but I am wearing one of those T-shirts. I designed that T-shirt.
Oh, it's lovely. I love
He's
it.
my cheerleader. We know each other. But so someone can buy a T-shirt and basically offset the cost of that guest stay. So this year the T-shirts were $15 because the cost of the room increased, even though the cost of the guest does not. So we have $15 per shirt, and if you buy a shirt, then you have shared a night with a family.
Wow.
So that's a big fundraiser we have every year. In the long-standing tradition here in Winston-Salem is the luminaries. And so in the holidays, you can buy a pack of 6 luminaries for $10, again, cost of a room. And we encourage folks to put them out Christmas Eve so that we can see that all through the city, all through the neighborhoods and all around Winston-Salem, people showing their support for our families, and by buying those luminaries, they've paid for a night as well. And then we have a brand new fundraiser that we started last year, Wine, Women, and Shoes, which is a little bit of a bigger ticket item, but it raised a lot of funds for us to just keep doing everything we're doing with the carts, the rooms, all of it. And then, of course, during the year, there's multiple ways people can give and get involved. You can come share meals. We're actually doing something this year to celebrate our 40th anniversary. We're calling it 40 for 40. It's the 40 for 40 challenge. Most nights, with us having 36 bedrooms, there are roughly 40 individuals staying in our house, give or take. So, come to the house and fix 40 meals, because it's 40 years, and you'll help feed our families for a night, or go use your Amazon card, or go to Costco and pick up 40 boxes full of snacks to donate to the hospitality carts, or when we were selling T-shirts, buy 40 shirts for you and your friends. So ways to kind of put that number on there, just kind of activate people to all the different ways they can get involved.
So. That is amazing. I love that. You mentioned something, one of the programs, Wine, Women, and Shoes?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes. So that is our brand new fundraiser. We came out of the gate with that just this past May. And the first time we've had a fundraiser of that kind. It's my understanding in all of those 40 years. So it was new territory for us. But it was a chance. It's kind of there's a lot to it. So there is, it's primarily aimed at women, but men are absolutely welcome to attend. But it is shopping. So there are vendors there where folks can come and shop with some local and national vendors. Not just shoes, but, hats, scarves, jewelry, all kinds of good things. Makeup. Yes, there's makeup there. They can do wine tastings. They can bid in the silent auction. So there's about an hour there we call the marketplace time, where, folks can get together and shop and sip wine. And then there's a seated program after that with a fashion show. This year, Dillard's put together a fashion show for us. They handled everything. It was just amazing.
Wow.
And then, have a live auction and just celebrate everything that, that event is bringing to the house. We got to meet a family this year that was an example of who the fundraiser benefits. So Dillard's was nice enough. They asked if we would have a family maybe that we would want to dress for the fashion show and be part of the fashion show. And so we identified a family that we just thought would be fantastic, because the little boy just is made for the stage. He is absolute character. And Dillard's provided outfits for him and his grandmother. and they strutted the runway. And as part of that, we told their story to the audience, and they had been involved with the house since he was 4, and he's just turned 10. So, for them to be able to kind of personally see the folks that are supporting the house and vice versa was really powerful. So we were grateful to Dillers to help us, make that possible. And it was a great event. And our next one is going to be May 1st. We are already thinking about it. So
yeah, you have to plan ahead for these kind of
way
things,
ahead,
especially when it has to deal with wine, women, and shoes.
Yes.
Yes, you got to plan ahead.
And I hear the guy that was the MC for the pre-show stuff. He was pretty cool.
There was this hottie on
He
the mic.
was.
I don't know. I don't know where we found that guy, but he was. He was getting numbers and everything. No.
I wonder if he's any relation to our producer Tim Beeman,
The Podfather?
I
the
think
Podfather.
He might be related. Yeah.
Okay.
He got-
I've known him since he was born.
It was strongly suggested that he be part of the event, and he's excellent at taking hints. He's right on it.
That's what happens when you're voluntold.
Yeah, he knows when he's being
Absolutely.
hinted at.
Absolutely.
But he was a part of a group that we called the Shoe Crew. And so that group was a group of volunteers. Some of them had already been volunteering with us in the family rooms or in the house. Other folks were part of the community, were minor celebrities, if we're going to stroke egos here, but kind of well-known personalities in the community, and just to be there as ambassadors for the attendees to make sure they had enough wine, talk to them a little bit about our mission, really kind of guide them through the event and make sure that they had a good time. And prior to the event, they were doing their own fundraising. So
Really?
there was a little bit of a competition.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Well, there was competition, and then there was Jolyn. So there were 9 shoe crew who kind of were, doing their thing, posting things on social media, raising money ahead of time for the event. Then there was Jolyn, who really just we put her picture out there for her, and it just exploded.
Oh, wow.
She raised so much money just
love the
being Jolyn.
volunteers.
Yeah, and she inspired a lot. So she was our winner for this first year. She raised the most money of all the shoe crew.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
And I wish I had written down the total to tell you, but I believe the total of all the shoe crew was more than 8,000, wasn't it? Yeah,
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot of nights.
That is a lot of nights.
A lot of snacks and
Exactly.
yeah.
For our families. Yeah.
Wow. What an incredible resource that we have for families in Winston-Salem. So congratulations on 40 years. That's amazing.
It's exciting.
Congratulations on the hundreds, probably thousands of volunteers that you have helping with the cards and with the rooms and at the house as well, making meals, making people feel just comfortable and safe and connected to each other while they're staying in the house. Are there other programs that
I was just
provide?
thinking, in the interest of being able to show my face when we return to the office, there is a way that everyone can help every day.
Okay.
So we would love for you to come volunteer. We would love for all of those things. But every single day, if you happen to drop by McDonald's for any reason, maybe for a cup of coffee, maybe a burger, something like that, if you round up your order at McDonald's, then that extra change that you have rounded up goes to help provide for our programs. And that when you may look at your McDonald's in your neighborhood and be like, oh, okay, well, maybe my 10 cents or whatever. Well, we have 87 McDonald's in the Piedmont Triad area that are giving back their rounded up funds to us.
Really?
And that adds up very quickly, and it is a game changer for us. The more people that round up and the more McDonald's, it's just a huge, it's what we like to say in nonprofit, unallocated. So it can go where we need it most. If we need it for a hospitality carts, it can go there. If we need it for a project at the house, it can go there. And it's just people just, deciding even numbers are better anyway, right? We all like even numbers coming out of our accounts. So that's something that everybody can do, and it goes to support our programs. So
That's amazing.
even if they don't ask you, which they're great about doing, even if they don't ask you, they all are capable of doing it. And so if they haven't
There's a
asked
button.
you, you can ask them. Yeah, there's a button on the register. You can tell them if they
Round
say
up.
we don't know how to do that. You can say there's a button. You should look. So
There's a
Extra
button.
manager.
The roundup button.
yes.
Do it. Do it. I love that. I love that. Well, Stephanie and Jolyn, is there anything that we did not talk about today that you want to make sure everyone knows?
You got me.
I think Stephanie touched on it. One of the things was Character Breakfast. I think that's the only thing that we didn't talk about that's coming up. And Character Breakfast, I'm sure Stephanie can share details because, again, Stephanie is our event planner as well, too. So she's not just marketing, but she's also events. She does a lot of our events. So, Stephanie, you want to share about Character Breakfast?
Yes, so that is coming up. Registration is going to open up for that soon. And that is probably about a 15, 16-year tradition. Now, I don't always get my numbers straight with that, but we've been doing it a long time. But it is really geared towards the little ones, kind of preschool age or very early elementary age. But if you've ever been to the Character Breakfast at Disney World, it is a little bit similar to that. So we pool all our resources from all over, every costume character we can find. So the sports mascots, we get the folks that are Snow White and all the princesses, and we always have somebody dressed up as Spider-Man and Star Wars characters, just all the characters you can think of. It's just a huge group of them, and they all come and we serve a breakfast. And this year it's going to be one seating, I believe, at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the kids can come and have a little autograph signed. They can have the different characters sign their little autographed books or bags, and meet the characters and have breakfast with their parents. And there's a charge for the community to attend. I believe it's $30 or $35. And then generally any families that we have staying in the house, we give them an invitation to attend with their children as well.
Where will this be located?
This is going to be at Forsyth Country Club on October 26th.
Excellent. And folks can find out more information about that and register and get their tickets on your
all
website?
over our website. Yes, so our website is rmhcpt.org.
Say it one more time for the people.
rmhcpt.org.
Awesome. And they can follow you on all the socials too.
Please follow us on all the socials. I mean, if I do say so myself, our socials are fun and they are bright, and we tell stories about families as we get them, and just let everybody know. I post every day. I probably shouldn't, but I can't help myself. There's just so much to talk about. There's
Will they
so much.
see a post with that fun T-shirt that you designed?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, we're all over it. Yeah, and we always take pictures of all the staff members. And we have a wear day. We had a wear day back in April. For everybody in the community that had bought a shirt to show their shirts. And, we have businesses, sometimes with the entire staff, maybe 20 or 30 people all get together in one picture showing their shirts.
That's great.
Because it is a special year, we're going to have a second wear day on our official 40th birthday, which is September 14th. And so we're going to be encouraging the community to hopefully get out the shirts that they have already purchased and wear them again. And if you don't have yours yet, you can still buy one. And so we're going to give that opportunity out there. But we would love to see everybody in Winston wearing these shirts on the 14th and posting on social media and wishing us happy birthday. We would love that.
Excellent.
And people can still get their shirts now. So,
Absolutely.
even when
You can
people
get one
hear
now.
this, they can go to the Ronald McDonald House to get these shirts also.
And if we run out, we will make more.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Excellent.
You can get your shirts. Yes.
And while you're buying your shirt, you're supporting a family.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Stephanie, Jolyn, Ethany, Tim.
That's me. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for educating me on everything that Ronald McDonald House Charities Piedmont Triad does. That's a mouthful.
It is. It is.
I'm really excited about it. And here's to another 40 years.
I do want to say something.
You do?
And this is not that I missed it, but I just want to acknowledge it.
Okay.
Happy belated engage-anniversary to my wife, who happens to be sitting here in this room.
Congratulations,
We know
Tim
each
and
other.
Stephanie, on your engage-anniversary.
Engage-anniversary,
Yes. Yesterday.
which is 10 days after our date-anniversary.
Not the exact 10
Not
days.
the exact 10 days. It was
Different
it
year,
was
but,
a year later.
That's so sweet. Congratulations, y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all are the cutest couple. You
We
really
try. Actually, we don't really try. It just happens.
are. It just happens naturally.
She can take all the credit for that.
And if you want to give to the Engageversary Fund, you can. I'm just kidding.
It all goes to the Ronald McDonald House.
House Charities.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
I love
you.
it. I love it.
Wish us 40 more years and
Yeah.
Yeah,
donate
Here's
40
to 40
bucks.
more years to both of you as well.
that's right. Yeah.
All right. And for everyone listening, thanks so much. Until next time. We know you enjoyed this podcast today, so join us for the next episode of Greater Conversations. By the way, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. Also, be sure to visit our website at winstonsalem.com. The views and opinions stated in this podcast are solely those of the contributors and not necessarily those of our sponsors, distributors, or hosting companies. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without expressed written consent of Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. or your toast.